Tulips by Clay Matthews. For 3 days I have seen sun and rain and now snow falling, but it has slowed to a blunder almost, a blight. Winter, January 8th. I try to give the season credit for its importance as one part of the cycle, thinking pain is life, thinking pain is only weakness leaving the body, thinking the cold is that which gives meaning to warmth, our bodies finally finding each other in the morning after a long night rolling one way and then another on either side of the bed, to divide and conquer. The division is really all that's needed. You see, the other is just aftermath, just war, just silence, just misunderstanding. And today I fear there is too much of this in the world. I fear that we're not getting it right as people. I am not a dreamer like I used to be. I don't know if I believe in great things anymore, but that doesn't mean great things can't happen. When it was April 7:30 and the sun was just going down and the streetlights were coming on and the children were out in the streets, the neighbors with their dog slapping at his mouth while he barked. The two of us on the porch drinking something on ice I don't remember, but I remember the cold of it going down. I remember asking St. Francis for the birds just a little bit longer. These days it is more St. Anthony I call upon, saying, I think I have lost my soul. I think I have lost what I want to say, saying, Tony, 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 please come around. The trees are so stark against the sky. Today I feel a bit like I am living in a picture, which is to say I feel surreal and held in one place and held tenderly by the hand of someone I once knew, folded and tucked away by someone else, placed in one of those boxes we all have where we put the things we cannot let go of, the things we want to keep but not see, nor need to. And I think the heart is like that sometimes, that it holds distantly to what might as well just let go. I tell myself 1,000 stories about myself. I tell myself, you are a good man, you are a bad man, you are wasting your life, you are doing something right. From one day to the next, I am in love with myself, or I am looking at myself disgusted and tired of all the bullshit I repeat to one person after another I meet on the streets or at family gatherings. All the same things I have said over and over and over, when wanting only to say, I really don't want to talk, or I really don't even like you, or you are my family, my friend. Why are we speaking to each other like we haven't known each other our whole lives? Like we weren't there in the world of our childhoods together. Like we didn't talk about girls or our lives or the future or the big goddamn possibility of everything we might be. There's too little of that these days, too little of you saying to me, I want more, I am not myself. Of me saying to you, I just want you to not talk about the weather or the next president or all the children. Even though I love the children, we spend so much time outside their world just looking in. The brothers and sisters and friends and cousins, thinking, once life was that simple, once we smiled, once we cried, once we ran through the house naked, with no thoughts of the windows or other humans, no thoughts of the real estate market except the large expanse of a room as it stretched out in front, thinking I bet by God I can run all the way to the other side. Now we run away, or rather, we do not run but we turn from each other very politely. We spend a long time at doors, and sometimes I have the urge to say something very important to someone. Sometimes it is right on my tongue, and I feel like I could make their life better just by uttering a few words because people have done this thing for me and I want to give back, and I can sometimes see them wanting to give it back, but we do not give it back. Only a hug, which is the closest we can get or care to get or know how anymore. We are real people, all grown up now. And I remember going back to my hometown and running into some older woman who knew me as a child, who I couldn't remember if I wanted to, and I do, who sees only the child in me. Held in a 6-foot body, sees not my mistakes, my faults, the ins and outs of 30 years of making people proud and upsetting people, winning awards and wrecking cars and doing drugs or staying sober. They see none of that. Only the child is a man, that mannish boy, and we have nothing to say at all except to each other. Say to each other, so they just stand back and smile and hug me as if I was something tender enough to break, small enough not to notice, unless looking very hard as I have grown older now to become. And I think sometimes I have too much of a man being man. I am too much jealousy, too much indifference, too much paranoia as it comes on, too much guilt. I drag the guilt around like a dead shadow, a heavy shadow, and sometimes I don't even know what I feel guilty for, only that it seems I should, that it is my destiny. Day to day I am happy or hurting or both, and not knowing how not to be, not knowing how to be everything I want to be for you, everything I feel like I can be, everything I feel like we can all be for each other. God damn it, I'm dreaming again. It seems again I am a dreamer, but I don't care today. I don't even care about knowing how much my caring comes to me, how I care so much, how I do. Winter. I'm taking it for what it is. The longest season, it seems. The darkest. The hardest, and by some accounts that makes it worth the most in the end. Worth every bit of blossoming I can stand.